Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 259. Go on, treat yourself. Welcome to the main event.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Go on, treat yourself. And your loved ones too. Purchases are made and spending is done with your head or your heart. Generally, people who purchase with their head, they might have their finances in better order, because when you're emotionally spending or when your ego spending, you can purchase a lot of stuff that you don't need. You can waste a lot of money. So making finances and doing spending with your head is super for anyone who wants to be financially secure in the future. So a lot of entrepreneurs are constantly training themselves to delay instant gratification, to, sleep on a purchase. So in other words, to wait 24 hours or wait 7 days or whatever period of time in order to be fully certain and have no regrets about a purchase. So not to immediately just go and purchase that thing, especially if it's a large item, to take your time and make the decision 24 hours later, to sleep on it basically. But what happens is entrepreneurs can really struggle with an acquisition mindset. So trying to acquire more, that they can struggle then to spend, or to when it's time to spend. This is very noticeable when somebody has built up, wealth and financial security, and then get to retirement age where they don't need to be acquiring as aggressively and they can afford to spend, and they struggle with that. They're not able to spend. They have a lot of difficulty, or spending causes them pain, causes them mental anguish. Maybe it's hard for you to imagine, maybe it's not, but they are two different mindsets. And if you're trying to be financially secure in your future, then the majority of purchases are with your head, and you have to be able to justify it so that you're not wasting money. So swapping around and just purchasing to treat yourself or your loved ones can be very difficult, but it is important now and again, because even if you're acquiring, even if you're trying to get yourself in a better economic position, it is important to treat yourself and your loved ones now and again, even if just simply for the fact that it boosts morale. There should be an overall reason to your saving, or even to your investing, besides simply hoarding money, or simply, there's a lot of people that just love looking at it, whether it's physical money or just love looking at the zeros in their bank account. And while that's all great and it can add to your feeling of security and give you confidence and positivity for your future and the future of your loved ones as well, it is important to balance it out. It is important to treat yourself and your loved ones now and again. So you should allow yourself to purchase, a liability. Now and again, you shouldn't be so frugal or be so strict that you're missing out on living life. You're so busy acquiring wealth that you're not. What was the purpose of it besides a secure future? What is the purpose of money? Money is designed to be spent. If everyone saved their money, money doesn't go around, and money makes the world go around. Someone else can't earn money if someone else, isn't spending. So everybody has to spend to some extent. But you should allow yourself to purchase. Not everything has to be purchased with your head. And there is a reason for it as well. And I mean, it could be a liability, something that costs you money, something that isn't going to make you money. It could be an item, a material possession. It could be an experience, a trip, a holiday, a vacation. It could be a meal, a dining experience. If you have it, you can afford to spend a bit of it. What happens if you don't have it? Well, if you don't have it and there's something that you want that, is maybe frivolous spending, that in itself could motivate you to use that image, to use that goal, to use that splurge item as motivation to earn what's needed. A very common one in business and entrepreneurial circles is to use basically the dividends or the investment profit, the returns you get from your invested funds or from your business or from, your investment vehicles that you've put money into. And that all sounds very highfalutin. That only all sounds like we're talking millions, but we're talking, if you have a couple of thousand put away and, you manage to get a return of a couple of hundred, then that's what we could be talking about. It doesn't have to just be, millionaire, billionaire status. But basically, you can use those profits to fund your toys and liabilities. So any of your wages or any of your hard savings can go into purchasing assets or putting money into something that gives you a return. And then that return, you don't have to you could obviously, for future financial security, that return could also then be put into acquiring further things which get you further return, and you can see how far you can go. But every so often you can take some of it and you can spend it, and you can spend it on yourself, and you can spend it on, your loved ones. So, a while ago, I never would have kind of understood why people would overspend on, expensive meals, for example. This is just a quick example, and I couldn't justify it, and I just didn't understand it. I probably have simple enough tastes. I'm probably happy enough in a diner, in comparison to, silver service, fine dining restaurant. I'm probably more comfortable with just a casual experience. And I could never kind of understand why people would spend, a considerable amount of money on, some type of a dining experience. I have done so myself, and I can see how once in a blue moon, it can be nice, even just to cross it off your list, just to show that you're not missing out on life. And more importantly, just, because it's a good way to mark a get together, a family occasion. And you don't forget these experiences, especially if they did cost you a lot of money, and you don't forget about them and they stay in your memory. So it can actually be worth it in a roundabout way, and not in a linear way that I might have looked at it in the past. And that goes for all these, type of purchases that you might be holding off on. It's easy for me, and it should be easy for you to justify spending when it comes to your health, or improving your health, or improving your well-being. They're easy enough purchases. But remember now, that expensive meal we were talking about now and again, once in a blue moon, or, whatever it is, that it isn't actually income producing, a non-asset. If that does improve if the simple purchasing of that does improve your mental well-being, then, there can't be any regrets. So you should actively, look at things now and again, even just to prove to your subconscious. If you're subconscious, obviously on a conscious level, you know what you're doing. You're trying to improve, your life. You're trying to save up as much as you can. You're trying to invest as much as you can. But you need to show your subconscious as well that there is a reason and there is a reward. And you do that by treating yourself now and again. Not spending more than you can afford, not putting it on credit, doing it with money that, you can siphon off a little bit to use to spend on yourself or your loved ones. Or you put a plan in place to be able to earn that money or save that money or, get it back from investments to be able to spend it on what you're looking for. Money is a very emotional subject, even though, as people who are looking to become more successful, we're constantly trying to stay in the headspace and that type of a mindset when it comes to finances. But, being successful can be marked in many different ways besides the numbers in your bank account. You could have lived a hermit-like existence, having never really experienced all the different things in life because you were terrified of spending money. Those people are out there. The people that are more in love with like Gollum, I suppose, from Lord of the Rings, they're more in love with holding it and retaining it and hoarding it and looking at it and, looking at it on your phone screen or on your computer screen is the same as holding it in person for a lot of people. So, make sure that you get a good balance. Make sure that you're not missing out in life because you're so driven towards your financial goal. Make sure that you do things that you won't regret. The experience alone will be worth it. And as I said, will improve your mental well-being as well, as your health, as well as your motivation to continue what you're doing. Hopefully that's helped you. Maybe you had a purchase in mind. Maybe you've been putting something off. Maybe you're completely the opposite and you're spending more than you're saving or investing, or you're struggling with the purchasing with your mind. Either way, I would love to hear from you. It's a fascinating study into human behavior when you talk to people about how them. A lot of people aren't openly talking about it, of course, but when some do, and you're listening to what way people spend their money and who believes in what, it's a fascinating subject, and it's one that I don't get tired of. So make sure you message me anytime through the successsensei.com, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for listening. This is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.